So we're about to start our AGM for June, our June social, so welcome. First of all, we'd like to say, wow, look around. Isn't it great to see everybody? See everybody's face and smile. It's lovely. The past 2 years was interesting, wasn't it? It was a challenge that most of us have never lived through in our lives, and let's hope we don't have to do it again. But in June of 2020, we had to take a pause. We regrouped, and then we just started rippling again. And we are so proud and honored to have all of you with us. We have made such an impact in our community, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. It's just incredible that we're still sitting at a membership of 282 after we went through a pandemic. So we have a lot to get through tonight. We want to introduce a few people to speak after our AGM, but we could not do this, and we couldn't give back to our community without our community. So Marianne has a list of thank yous for tonight's event.
So hello everybody, and we have a bunch of thank yous because it definitely takes a village to make Ripple work. So although Barb and I might stand behind or sit behind the computer and make some calls and do all of the organizing and orchestrating, it really does take a village, and our members absolutely step up each and every time. So first I would like to thank Sandbox Center, who are our venue sponsors for this evening. We are going to have Megan and Danielle come up and speak after our AGM, just to tell you a little bit about what Sandbox does, because we've had a number of you ask questions. So they'll come up and fill you in a little bit about how they work. So again, thank you to Sandbox for hosting us this evening. Thank you to Lindsay Westcott from Family First Counseling, who was the beautiful offer of the food this evening. And we will definitely get, a number of people have asked for the name of the caterer. Her name's Christina, that's all I know. So we will post that on our social media, so then that way you know who she is if you'd like to use her for a future function. Also, our lovely co-founder, Barb White from Jeff's Junk, who provided everybody with the wine this evening, or beverage of your choice. So thank you to Barb and Jeff's Junk. The wine always gets a clap. Yeah. Janie Snellgrove, who's also a member, is the co-founder of Pillars of Light, and she has donated the candle pack with the snuffer and the wick trimmer kit, and that will be used for our people who have paid before the function. So Barb has already done the spinning wheel that we will be able to, all those people that have paid are entered, and then that way 142 people have already paid, which is fantastic. Nice. So that's
still 140 to go next year.
I donated a little basket over there just to make sure that there wasn't, and there's wine in the basket. And that is for everybody who is here this evening that put their name tag in. So everybody's entered.
Don't forget,
if you didn't take it out of the back of your name tag, please make sure you do so before we do the draw. And also we would like to thank Winter and Ange from Saunders Market, who is going to be doing the market over at Michael and Marion's for us when we get there. And last but not least, there are some lovely quilts that are over on the chairs over there. Please have a look. One of our community members, her name is Bev Hurd, made those and donated them to Ripple to be able to auction them off so that we can use some of that money to go towards the Ukraine relief. So every social, at Christmas time, we help the homeless. We do a number of different things. We've helped the OSPCA. We've done a number of different things and different initiatives. So this is just another one of those initiatives that we would like. There was a number of people that when we did do our vote, were in support of helping the Ukraine. So this is a way that we can still give back, and in turn you can get a beautiful quilt, or you can give the quilt as a gift or something like that. So they're over on the chair. Please feel free to take a look. You can do a bid. It would be amazing, and all that money will go directly to one of the Ukrainian Canadian Foundation organizations. So I believe that's all I have. It's on to you for the AGM stuff. You can do that?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm gonna speak up. Sam's going to speak up. So this donation to Simcoe Family Connections will be our 19th give back since 2016, which is amazing. Just our chapter, bringing our total to $540,000 back into our community. To Ripple that don't know, we also have chapters in Aurelia, Muskoka, and one starting in London. Poor London couple, they've tried to start it just before the pandemic, so we're hoping they're going to get it kicked off shortly. But all the chapters together, we have reached a grand total of $712,000. So one of our mandates is that once a charity is nominated and it receives the money, it cannot be nominated again for 5 years. So that being said, we now have 3 charities that are eligible. Gilda's Club, Hospice Simcoe, and Season Center. Just so you know, it's been 5 years since they have received their donations. Gilda's Club received $28,000 back in September 2016, Hospice $33,000 in March 2017, and Season Center $37,000 in September 2017. If you remember back then, or some of you may not know, that's when we donated.
We only did 2 donations
a year. And then once we got to so many members, we started to do 4 donations because it was a lot of money.
Also, just so that everybody knows, we will be opening up the nominations again. So all the nominations that we've had for the past year, after this meeting, our AGM, we will send out an email as a reminder to say it's open now to renominate your charity of choice. So you can do that. Please make sure you do. We will always communicate with you. Also, you have to remember some of these charitable organizations might need a little bit of a reminder because we have had some that didn't respond back to us, and we do a few reminders, but we are not chasing people. So if you as a member, we always let our members know we haven't received a response. If you as a member would like to take that initiative to contact them and let them know, please feel free, but we will not be chasing people to get their nominations in. We feel like if you're nominated, you're privileged enough, we shouldn't have to chase you for that. So we just want to make that clear because that did come up in our last nominations. And so just for those, because I know we do have some new members here, many members that started at the beginning of the COVID lockdowns. We have some members that are like new members that signed up yesterday and are here this evening. So welcome. So welcome to all of our members. Just very quickly, I just want to say that we meet 4 times a year. So March, June, September, and December. We have them at different venue locations within the city of Barrie and surrounding area. Each member commits to giving $400 a year, split between 4 charities. Those charities are decided on, and it's the majority of the votes who receive the charitable donation. All money is paid directly to the charity. We do not collect, besides your toss it to me to pay for some small administrative costs, we do not collect any money, and your charitable receipt comes directly from the charity. For a charity to be eligible, they must be able to issue a tax-deductible receipt. They have to be a registered charity.
And the money must stay local in our community.
And that was one of the challenges we had with the Ukraine. So I know it was something that was brought to us. We went through the process, but we really had to look within ourselves and the mandate of what we stood for, and we had to stand fast on that, because if we gave to the Ukraine, then what other crisis is out there that we give to? And then it becomes, we get carried away. Yeah. And we have to just stick with what's local, because what's important to one person may not be important to another, and vice versa. So we made that decision, and keeping the money local, I think it makes the most sense for everybody. So.
But it was a great exercise to go through.
It was, because believe me,
we had some conversations.
We did have some very spirited conversations, but it was really good. It was really good for us to go through.
Yes,
we also wanted to put it out there that we would like to form 2 different we're gonna call them committees. It's not really committees because it's really not a whole lot of work. But we just, as Barb and I, we just could use a little bit of extra help. So if there's anybody that's interested in helping us behind the scenes, we're gonna set up two, we're gonna call them committees just for a title. We have a donation and admin committee that's gonna help us when we go through the donation process. And then there's also the events committee that's gonna help us with like the actual physical socials themselves and just, yeah.
And reaching out if you know somebody who wants to sponsor, just using your networks and helping us out a little bit.
But just because it is a lot of work, so we could really use a little bit of extra help to do those things. So that's it. I'm gonna put it over to you. Do we have any questions or anything?
Let's open the floor to questions. Yes.
Yes.
On the events, as I'm assuming there'd be four based on the 4 donation times, would you want 4 different groups with maybe one constant? So hypothetically, if I can't commit to all events on an annual basis, but I could do one, would there be a call out for people that are just available for that particular quarterly one?
Yeah, I think that's what the original committee, like 1 or 2 people, because that's what Mary Ann and I do now. We send out an email and we try to coordinate all the people. I mean, we're very fortunate. The Sandbox did this is a perfect venue, can I just say?
Yes, it really is.
We literally showed up and had wine.
It was wonderful, which never happens.
No, usually we're putting out chairs and tablecloths and that's a great question.
Yeah, and I think, like, I mean, I agree with you. I think if there's, 5 or 7 people that say they want to be part of the donation admin committee, then you're exactly right. We can call on whoever's available at that time. The same with the events committee. If there's, the same thing, you call on that pool of people, anybody who's available in that committee, then they can come out and help. So that would be great, for sure. Any other questions? Okay, so I think what we're going to do, just before we get started with our amazing charity, we're just going to have Megan and Danielle from Sandbox come up and talk to you just for a few minutes, because we've had so many people ask us, what does Sandbox do? What are they about? And I think it's really best if you hear it directly from them instead of me butchering it. So Megan and Danielle, if you ladies could come up and give them a little bit of insight.
My name is Danielle. Some familiar faces, some new faces, and some fast friends in this room. A huge welcome to the Sandbox Center. I'm the managing director here, and it's been an incredible journey. We opened in April 2019, and who knew that we wouldn't celebrate our 1-year anniversary? And we were faced with the pandemic and many of the challenges that so many in this room and others were faced with. But I'm so happy to be standing here and seeing the room full and vibrant, and also to just recognize the work that you all do. This is an incredible group of people, and I have to say, Mary Ann, Barb, thank you so much for thinking of us and giving us the opportunity to share a little bit about the Sandbox. When we set out to create the Sandbox, it was really our kind of anchor, guiding star was to create a space that would really unite the business community. And I feel like we're really executing on that in this very moment. I've heard some incredible conversations, and to answer some of the questions around what is the Sandbox, well, we're still figuring it out, and it is a bit fluid, and this hasn't been done before. And so I don't have a perfect answer, but what the pandemic did was allow us some time to really think about in the first 10 months that we were open, where was there real value? Where were we really making an impact in helping businesses and moving the needle and removing barriers, providing access, and creating greater connectivity through our community? And so I think we're definitely in a better position we were than when we opened, and much stronger today. And I'd love to invite Megan to share a little bit about how people are engaging in the Sandbox. And when you become a member of the Sandbox, what is it that you're really partaking in? So Megan, over to you.
Thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Megan. So I head up business development here at the Sandbox. So why do you join the Sandbox and what do we provide you? So there's a couple different ways that people can engage the Sandbox. The first being our space. So as you can see, we have the patio, this connectivity space up at the front, but we also have a whole other space at the back. So I really encourage you to take a walk around, take a look for yourself. We've got boardrooms back there, So if you're looking to meet clients or meet friends, or you really just need another place to work other than your home office, this is it. Another reason why people would become a member at the Sandbox is our network. We are so passionate and so lucky to have the people in our community that we do. And so we really pride ourselves on making those connections and those collisions. And if someone, needs to be connected to somebody else in the business community, we are that person to do that. Another reason why somebody would join the Sandbox is professional development. So if you're looking to upskill your team or even just upskill yourself, we provide a whole array of professional development programs that you can participate in, and all of our events and programming is free to you as a member. And the last thing would really just be to gain kind of exposure for your business and for you. So, if you're starting out or, you're wanting to reconnect with the business community after this long 2 years, we are really the place for you to do that. So I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but
I think you nailed it. And I guess the only thing that I would add is if you have any questions you'd like to learn more, please feel free to connect to Megan, myself. Mackenzie's behind the bar. And I know you ladies also shared that you'll be sending out a digital brochure on our behalf that will have our contact information in there and a little bit more on what we shared today. So thank you, and a big thank you to the work that you do and the impact you're having in the community. It is incredible to witness, and I know I want to put my hand up and say, sign me up. It's infectious, the work that you're doing, and I really...
284 minutes.
There you go.
Two more members, you guys. Thanks so much. It's really interesting. To be honest, I drive by here all the time, and I didn't really know. Does anybody remember what was up here before even? No. We were so attentive. So anyway, we would like to take this opportunity to welcome Jerome and Tracy up to the podium. They are from Simcoe Family Connections.
We're unrehearsed and unplugged. So thank you very much, everyone, for the very generous donation. We can't express enough how much we appreciate that. I think I'm going to start and just tell you a little bit about Simcoe Muskoka Family Connections. So we actually do provide service throughout Simcoe and Muskoka. We are one of 2 child welfare organizations in Simcoe, Muskoka, the other one being Nangdamanamankwanoja Child and Family Services. So they're an Indigenous child well-being agency. So we kind of share the task of child protection services throughout that area. Our agency in particular has we have a very diverse community, so we offer some kind of diverse services. We have a francophone services that we offer in the community. Beyond child protection services, we do the public adoptions in this area for families who are wanting to adopt, or children who are needing to be adopted. We have offices throughout Simcoe and Muskoka in every kind of major or relatively big community. We used to have offices in both Bradford and Alliston, but we've actually kind of amalgamated those offices. So our Barrie office, which is our main office, serves the whole kind of south part of our area. And then we have offices in Midland, Collingwood, Orillia, Bracebridge, and Huntsville. So I'm trying to think what else I can tell you, but we have, in terms of the families that we're providing service to, I would say that we're really noticing the impacts of the pandemic as well on the children and families that we're providing service to. We have lots of families that are that have housing insecurity, food insecurity, just really struggling to meet basic needs. So this donation is going to be a great help to all of those families. The complexity of children's needs, especially children who were suffering from mental health concerns prior to the pandemic. The pandemic has really impacted impacted those children, youth, and families as well is another thing that we're seeing. So again, Jerome's going to tell you a little bit more about what we will use this money for, but again, from me, I just want to say thank you so much and really, really appreciate it.
Tracy just said, I'm the manager of communications and community relations. I actually just started in January, so it's fairly new to me, but seeing the impact that it will have on the community is just amazing. I want to echo the thank you, because without our community partners, we wouldn't be able to do any of the work we do. We rely a lot on those donations. Tracy touched base on the basic needs. It is a program that we run. If you have seen our social media posts, we are usually requesting, demanding the donation. Demanding is not the word. Asking for donations. Sorry, if you can tell I'm French. I can also do the presentation in French. I know I have an accent. But yeah, the basic need programs is really important. We have a lot of families that rely on those basic needs, whether it's groceries, whether it's a bike to go to work or to go to school. We also provide funding for graduation, for school. So we use all that money to provide to those families and to these youth and young people. We have some of the programs that we run throughout the year. So currently, you might have heard some advertisements on the radio, but we are running a summer camp program. So the same thing here. We have some funds that we put toward our summer camp program. We are trying to send as many kids as possible to summer camp so they can experience as close as they can to summer camp. Whether it's in a week camp, whether it's an overnight camp, those can get expensive. So we're trying to help them in any form we can, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, whether it's more. We also provide alternative experience sometimes. So if someone cannot go to camp or is not feeling comfortable, we can send them to the zoo, for example, or to Wonderland. So we try to work with the different families depending on their needs, because every family and every kid has different needs. We also have alternatives that we call Camp in a Box. So for those who cannot go to camp, we actually put together a box with some of the leftover toys that we usually receive from a holiday program. And then we try to accommodate some of the needs that they might have. So if they like soccer, we're going to try and put like a soccer ball in the Camp in a Box. So we try to adjust depending on the needs. I mentioned it, but we have a holiday program as well that we run from November to January, but really donations focused on November and December. We put together hampers for the families, and same thing, we try to bundle depending on the needs. We try to match if it's siblings, for example, to try to, if one gets a bike, we try to get a bike for the other kids. So we have all those things in place, and I'm getting emotional here, but it's so important. All those programs that we have. We have a back to school as well program where we prepare backpacks and we fill them with as many things that we can, whether it's school supplies, water bottles, anything that they might need. Yeah, I feel like I talked a lot, but I'm so excited. I could talk about it for hours, and wanted to thank you again.
Is there anything else you need other than
$28,000.
Are there any other donations that we can provide you?
I mean, any donation is welcome for sure, whether it's monetary donation or in-kind donations. For in-kind donations, we usually ask that it's brand new. Any type of donation, so towards the holiday, it's more like toys, for example. But monetary donations are welcome throughout the year. They will help us. We have those programs in place because that's what we can do with the money that we receive so far and that we're receiving right now. But the more money we receive, the more support we can have internally, and the more programs we can put together. We are right now a mighty team of 2 in our communication program, so a communication team. So we do our best to work with all the caseworkers that reach out to us for any needs. We rely a lot on them for all the programs that we have throughout the year, but any donation is welcome. I will never say no to a donation. And I will come and speak again.
Any other questions? Okay, Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
So just a reminder, the slate is clean now for nominations, so if you want to see your charity receive $28,000 in September, you must nominate them. You do that by going to the website. Thinking of
To
the
the website, and then it's like,
my mind went blank.
chapters, and then there's
Bury
a drop
nominations,
down.
yeah.
You go to Barry,
There's a
and
few
then it's
places you
either
can find it.
nominate
Yeah.
or become a member.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Crushed it.
That's good.
I think that's good. Okay, all right.
So now we do the
And don't
draws.
forget, after this, we're making our way over to
We're
Michael
going to
and
Michael and Marion's
for
where we
the
can have more
market.
wine and fun, and there's a
And
summer
shopping.
market.